Dane County Supervisor Brenda. Let's give a nice warm welcome for Dane County Supervisor Brenda Yang.
Hello, my name is Brenda Yang, and I am a Dane County Board Supervisor, the first person of Hmong descent to be elected onto the Dane County Board of Supervisors. I'd like to say a huge thanks to Brandon and the Wisconsin Hmong 18 Clan Council, who have invited me to come and share a little bit of what I wrote in Dane County to recognize the 50th anniversary of the Hmong people in the U.S. I won't share the entire resolution as it is quite long, but will share my speech and some highlights on our diaspora to the States. Gulung bay hua Brenda Nuya Guya Tok Tu Ning Bong what to Silo or it to Tokyo Shai Kincha Ding. What you know to Brandon Yate Wisconsin Gong Ho 18 Sing. Tokyo Gula High Opelo Lula Tenying Sokai or Gutojo Jodo Kincha Ding so Chikyo Hyong Big Mong to Toto De Kilmika. Guyo Ching Dan Tajando a Gusho to Jai Vinu in your deja. That's your care thing ya or gusa dear drinking, big your mong or not a whole ding. Today is a very special day as we celebrate and recognize the 50th anniversary of the Hmong migration to the United States as refugees. And as I reflect back on these past 50 years, I am amazed and astonished at how much the Hmong people have accomplished, despite the oppression and the acts of genocide they have experienced for thousands of years, starting in China 3,000 plus years ago. My apologies, but before I continue, since I am limited on time, I will now be speaking in English for the remainder of my time. No no yo inu chu sing hang or be to or ge jong xie ten yo cho ji kyo hyong de yo mong to cho tie to de kyo mi ga to gu sa cho ji kyo lu hyong be yo mong to nya to de kyo mi ga yo tie be sa cho be yo mong de ge zo nye ge to ji cho de to thao to no be lu de kyo nya to shuo de to de lo lo gu pa tie be yo mong to o tie tong do ya ba cho yo de kyo or be nyo nó khi cho lũ tu bao địa bé hải neng giờ địa bé tổ chức cái gì đó tông đâu hẹn lo bé chỉnh một bệnh sự tổ bé để cái trái cho nó cho ua bé để trồng cho để bé cho lũ để bé cái cho nó cho ua thọ chính đó đó là vì chỉ muốn sự hỗ trợ của hải tần cho mong thêm mình cả gì muốn tận tình nó của yo hải lũ mình cả sự. As I reflect back on these past 50 years, I am amazed and astonished at how much the Hmong people have accomplished, despite the oppression and the acts of genocide we have experienced for 3,000 plus years. Lately, I have been pondering what it means to be Hmong. Is it perhaps our genetics that makes us Hmong? Is it being born into a Hmong family? Or is it perhaps our values of community and prioritizing collective needs over individual needs? Is it about knowing how to speak the language? What does it truly mean for us to be Hmong? There's a well-known phrase in our culture, in the Hmong culture, that states, to be Hmong is to be free. I heard my parents say this as a young age, but I didn't quite understand what it meant till I was older. And as I reflect on the many ways that I am Hmong, I realize that every new generation of Hmong has had to wrestle with these same questions. And despite the challenges of extinction, we have endured and have overcome them, all of them, through reimagining and redefining what it means to be Hmong wherever we reside. Now, this speech is dedicated to my father and all the Hmong soldiers who fought for our freedom. My father, who is a fierce and strong Hmong man, when he was 17 years of age, was recruited by General Phat Bo and his officers to fight in the secret war. I'm going to share with you today a memory that will stay with me forever. Growing up in a Hmong American home was not easy. And I didn't understand my parents, especially my father. I didn't understand why he was so withdrawn from his children, why he only chose to speak to us when we were in trouble or had done something bad. He always showed the side of him that was strong and authoritarian. But I remember during my first year of college, I came back home for Christmas break and my father asked me to attend one of his therapy sessions as a translator. During that time, Hmong translators did not exist, and their children or whomever knew how to speak English would be the translator. So now you guys know why I do a lot of work on language access and language justice, because it's so important. At that time, I had no idea that my dad was seeing a therapist and that he was struggling with depression. In my eyes, my dad had always been a pillar of strength, and I never imagined that he would need therapy. He shared his struggle with depression and the trauma that was inflicted on him during the Secret War, his struggles of being an immigrant, having to navigate the customs and the cultures of America, and how learning the English language was such a struggle. My father broke down into tears, and that was the very first time I had ever seen him vulnerable. It was a lot for me to take in, all the while attempting to translate everything that he voiced. I had no idea of the depths of his experience and how traumatic his experience truly was. Hmong boys were recruited to be in the Secret War from as early as the age of 10 years, while American boys couldn't serve till they were 18. Hmong soldiers died 10 times more compared to American GIs. Hmong soldiers received 2,000 kip, which in US dollars at the time was $3 per month, compared to American soldiers who made earnings from $197 to $339 per month. American pilots who flew over Vietnam were sent home after a year, in comparison to Hmong pilots who continued to fly over Vietnam again and again and again until they died. And as I think about the details of the Secret War and the trauma that my dad endured, having to kill and to fight another human, and then taking your family to live in the jungles, crossing the Mekong River to live in refugee camps, and then coming to the States, a place where you don't know the language, the customs, the cultures, and having to start fresh in the place where you were unappreciated, misunderstood, and hated. This amount of trauma that our Hmong families have had to endure is immeasurable. When we look at all of the accomplishments the Hmong people have made, I am in awe of how much we have accomplished, despite the horrors that we have faced. But because we have faced so many horrors for so long, we carry with us not only resilience, but incredible trauma. But despite this trauma and despite the challenges, we have overcome all of it. How can this be? Research shows that those who have a firm understanding of their cultural background, their upbringing, their identity, and their history are more likely to advocate for not only themselves, but other people groups. This is why cultural preservation, the value of cultural identity, knowing your history, the good and the bad parts, can only help all of us to reconcile our past traumas and build continued resilience. The Hmong people aren't perfect, and we know that. We have a lot of trauma to unpack. But I know that as long as we continue to look inward and not allow anyone else to define who we are doing the work to stop the cycle of abuse and suffering, because healing happens when we look inward. In Dane County, the Hmong people have done just that. Ever since the arrival of Hmong families in Dane County, families like Xyoo Tuaj who is a veteran and a soldier in the Secret War, is one of the first Hmong families to live in Dane County at the Bayview Community Center and still lives there to this day. The Hmong people have maintained and prioritized the preservation of their cultures, traditions, and values through electing clan leaders in each state, county, and our cities. Starting in Wisconsin with Baking Va, who is the president of the Wisconsin Hmong 18 Clan Council. And in Dane County, each clan has its own leadership known as Desing. The Va clan, Nyehu Va. The Li clan, Pa Ning Li. The Lo and Pa clan, Bijak Lo. The Ta clan, Pa Ying Ta. The Vu clan, Peter Vu. The Hyong clan, Chu Hu Hyong. The Yang clan, Yo Chua Ya. The Jia clan, Fu Stephen Jia. And the Mo clan, Blia Vu Mo. These are all our leaders in Dane County. Thank you for your work in cultural preservation and helping us stay visible and remain and protect our culture and our identity. Hmong people in Dane County have used their trauma to build support systems and programming to preserve their identity and values through culturally relevant programming and partnering with local government, public schools, and nonprofit organizations to promote the significance of cultural awareness, identity, and the impact of building comprehensive community services. Individuals like Manila Gu, and who is the CEO of Grand Journey, or Dua Va, who is the CEO of the Southeast Asian Healing Center, along with Mai Zhongfu and Se Ping He, who has led the Hmong Institute and have done tremendous work in Dane County, stopping these cycles of trauma with their work. In addition to this, Dr. Macy Ho, who is the CEO of the Wisconsin Hmong Chamber of Commerce, has done tremendous work at helping to highlight and support the many Hmong businesses throughout the state of Wisconsin, and especially in Dane County. Increasing the visibility of Hmong businesses by securing grants to support these businesses and increasing their capacity to serve. In the education sector, Go Nu Va Vu, who is the first person of Hmong descent as a principal at the Madison Metropolitan School District, runs the only bilingual Hmong immersion program in the state of Wisconsin and has contributed to the significance of asset-based teaching through combining culture, language, literacy, and learning. In addition to this, Tom Hyung, who was one of the first Hmong social workers in Dane County, has worked closely with Hmong families and elders specializing in long-term care, opening the door for many other Hmong people to gain employment in Dane County. Organizations like the Wisconsin Hmong Association and the work that they have done to preserve the Hmong tradition of celebrating the annual Rice Harvest Festival known as the Madison Hmong New Year. President Ning Huya, along with current officers, past and current board members, and all former and all entire officers of Wisconsin Hmong Association, has had the difficult task of leading the Hmong Madison New Year that draws in over thousands of individuals from all over the state of Wisconsin, in an event with the most visual display of the Hmong culture in Dane County. These leaders that I have mentioned are all prime examples of what it means to do the work of eliminating the cycle of trauma. So as I reflect on what it means to be Hmong, I am reminded that to be Hmong is to be free. Because I come from a long line of deep history, rich culture, and immense resilience. Like my parents say, to be Hmong is to be free, and to be free means to not only liberate ourselves, but also to liberate others. I hope that in the next 50 years, the Hmong community will continue to do the work of liberation, not just for ourselves, but for the sake of everybody. And continue to be leaders in doing the hard work of cultural preservation, cultural identity, and creating belonging. I know that I am Hmong as long as I know where I come from, my history, and my origins of my identity. I will continue to carry on my Hmong identity, and I hope that as this next generation of Hmong Americans navigate living in the United States, that they will never forget their history, who they are, and the many contributions the Hmong people have made to making the spaces they reside a better place for everyone. 我唱到。
Miss Brendan, thank you so much for your passion and your dedication. This is a gift from all of the Hmong people of Wisconsin. The people that you love, that you dedicate your passion to work for the Hmong Americans, not just in Dane County, but in the whole state of Wisconsin and America. With this, we cannot pay enough for your dedication, but this is a gift to remind of your passion, your love, and your gift to the Hmong in Wisconsin. Thank you so much.
Brenda, không xe, nè, khỏi nhà pe tuần thải mong, mua phân sự, tàu lối tuần Suprtvisor nhá họ lưu đèn khâu tiền nè, họ nói nhà pe lưu xe để pe hải mong sẽ được, để thao cầu cảตัวmột kiến nó khai nhau giống nè, của ai tuần nọ đàn chèn cho pe mong họ đèn khâu tiền nè mình cả tàu pe xe tận đây nè, họ chú tê tuần thải mong,เราก่อนtàu on nó chứ bị cậu mỏ nó tiền nè.
Bây giờ một tên nó đó ý dụng gì là phải tuần sai một bản Brenda, yeah, Suprtvisor, get to them coming.